We interrupt regular programming for this holiday special. Welcome to the channel, and this is the channel's first ever holiday special. It's a Thanksgiving special because up here in the Great White North, we celebrate Thanksgiving in October, a month before the American Thanksgiving. So I'm Royal Rooster, and I'm here with Mrs. Royal Rooster today to talk about a very special Thanksgiving back in 1987. And I've told you this story before. Do you remember it?
I do.
Okay. And we watched the movie last year for the first time together. And although we've been together for many years, I don't know why we only watched it last year for the first time, but we did. And so I'm going to just tell that story for the viewers.
Sounds good.
1987. So it's 1987, and at this point, 1986, the G.I. Joe cartoons on TV, they'd ended. So there was nothing for us Joe fans to watch in 1987. It was gone. So we missed it. And when this came out and I found out about it, I was like really excited that it was going to be on TV because I hadn't seen cartoon about G.I. Joe for so long. I knew this was coming on, but it was coming on Thanksgiving Sunday. And Thanksgiving Sunday that year was a busy Sunday. This is 1987, so we're both, 11 years old? I think you were probably 12 at the time. I would have been 11.
Yeah.
So it was 1987, and I'm going to my aunt's house for Thanksgiving dinner. And it's okay because the movie's going to start at 5 or 6, and we're eating dinner at 2 o'clock, you know, our usual 2 o'clock Sunday
dinner. Yes.
Yeah. So we're having dinner, and I knew that after dinner there's plenty of time to go and watch the movie, but there was a problem. And
What was the problem?
And the problem was that I had 2 or 3 older cousins who 2 of them for sure I knew weren't into G.I. Joe. So there were a pair of brothers. The younger one, he kind of was into G.I. Joe, so that was an easy sell. But then there was an older one who was about 4 or 5 years older than me. And I had a few little cousins there as well. And convincing them watching G.I. Joe the movie, that was going to be a tough sell. So
Yes, sir.
here we were. It's Thanksgiving Day. We're at dinner, and the only thing I'm thinking about when we're sitting there eating dinner is how am I going to convince these guys? So it was the first time that I actually did any type of political type of convincing and trying to argue and making sure that we were going to watch the movie. So how did I convince them? I sold them on it. I said, it's going to be the best cartoon ever. It's nothing like the other cartoons on TV. You're going to love it. It's going to be fantastic. And you know how I got my female cousin to get into it?
How did you do that?
I did it by convincing her that Don Johnson was going to be in the movie. He was one of the voices, and she, of course, had a big crush on him because he was in Miami Vice at the time, so he was a really big star. So I convinced her to watch it, and she said, yeah, okay. And then I also sold it on the fact that it was going to be like this total adult-themed, awesome cartoon. You couldn't miss it. So I convinced my older cousin, and my older cousin also said yes. So all 3 of them said yes. And I wasn't too worried about the 2 younger cousins.
You're worried about the...
Yeah, the older cousin.
ones.
Right, and you know who I'm talking about.
I do.
Because with him, if he wasn't going to be entertained, I knew for a fact that not only was I not going to watch it, but he was going to torment me. He was going to change the channels. He was going to turn the TV off and on the whole time, and I would never watch it for whatever the 2 hours, hour and a half that it was supposed to be on. So, anyways, he said yes. So so I'm thinking, okay, we're going to go watch it. So we go downstairs after dinner, and we go into the living room. We turn on the TV, and it starts. And it has, and for all the Joe fans out there, they know what the intro is like, and there's a lot of Joe fans that hate the movie, a lot of them like him, but they all agree that intro is absolutely awesome intro. And in fact, when we watched it last year, I remember you asking me, is this a show or is this just the intro? Because it's so long and has so much action. Because
Do you remember?
It was just it was such an awesome opening. So it started off great. So I had them entertained at that point, but I'm still not watching in ease. So I'm still a little bit, nervous. Like, I don't know if I'm going to watch the whole thing or they're going to let me. So, and then Lieutenant Falcon makes his first appearance, and that's the character that's being voiced by Don Johnson. And he says something, and I point to my female cousin. I'm like, see, that's Don Johnson. She's like, oh yeah, it is Don Johnson. So I knew that I had her sold. It was my older cousin that I was worried about the most. And so the action goes on, and there's this one scene, I don't know if you remember, but there's this one scene where Chuckles is getting trained on the Havoc by Beachhead, and then he goes to shoot a rocket at a tank, and the thing malfunctions, so he runs out of this Havoc, which is this vehicle, and he picks up the missile, and he carries it, and he runs across the battlefield, and he throws it at the other tank, and it explodes. You remember that one?
Not really.
Not really? Yeah. Okay, fair enough. But Joe fans, obviously you remember that scene. Anyways, shortly after that, it went into commercial break. And when it went to commercial break, my cousin jumped up from the couch laughing and smiling, and he reenacted the scene as if he was carrying the missile.
Way.
And he threw it and just laughing. And when he did that, I said, I got them all sold. I'm done. I could finally just sit back and relax and watch the TV show with ease. So that was the first time that I ever saw the movie, and thank goodness I saw it, because I probably never saw it again until I was in my early 20s, when somebody had a DVD of G.I. Joe the movie and lent it to me, and I saw it, because I never saw it again on TV. And I was so lucky to see it that time, and I'm so glad that I did. I'm so glad that my cousins let me watch it. And Thanksgiving, for me, the way that I see it, is it's always a super special holiday for me, because and only Christmas is probably bigger, but for me it's always huge, because as I got older, it was always a big deal in my household. So we always had a special dinner, even if it was just me and my parents. We always had a special big meal, enough food, of course, to like completely feed the entire neighborhood. You know, we brought out the special utensils. We sat in the dining room, not in the kitchen. We had, 2 forks, 2 knives, 2 glasses, one for water, one for, of course, it was all the crystal stuff and the silver and the good stuff. And so it was always a really big deal for me. And to this day, it really is a big deal, and that's why I always insist that we have Thanksgiving at our house, because I like that. I like the family being together. I like, not only my side, but your side, and of course it keeps getting bigger.
Yes, it is.
With your side of the family
and
now.
I enjoy it as well.
So now there's going to be, another niece coming, so a couple of nieces, and I really love it, and I really love the we're no doubt have enough food that's we can feed
for the
entire
neighbors too.
Yeah, more than just us. So, but I love keeping that tradition alive, and as well, since my mother is no longer with us, it's also in her memory that I love keeping this special holiday special and keeping very family. But I also love the fact that we keep the other tradition alive as well. And watching G.I. Joe the movie on Thanksgiving Monday is pretty special to me, because it reminds me of that special 1987 day with my cousins. And I'm not watching it with them now. I'm watching it with you.
Yes.
And with our kitties.
Yes.
And that makes it really special for me. So it's one of those traditions that I'm so glad that we keep going, and we're still doing it. So, all right, everybody, that's all for us. Wishing everybody up north happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your turkey.
Gobble gobble. And for everybody else, happy Monday, and to our American friends, happy Thanksgiving next month. You ready to watch the movie?
I am. Let's do it.
All right, got the popcorn, got the chips, you got everything?
Got it all.
All right, let's go then. So I'll end off with this video like I end off with all my videos. Until next time, happy memory hunting.
Happy Thanksgiving.